Welcome to yet another Champions League fantasy video. This is going to be a preview of Game Week 1. This is an updated team compared to the first draft that I made last week. And yeah, things change quickly as I'll be going through when I analyze each player on my team. But before I do that, I just want to say quickly, thank you to everyone who subscribed, everyone who has commented, and everyone who shared the video, and all of that. Turn on notifications. We've reached 1,000 subscribers. And that was my main target before the end of the season, and we've already hit it, so I have to say thank you so much. The growth over the last month or so has been incredible, and yeah, to many, many more. But going straight into it now, I have to say, in terms of Champions League fantasy, I have made changes. I've had one draft. It's been fairly consistent with some of the players, like I said, Lewandowski and Haaland, but others I have kind of changed around a bit, and I'll be explaining why I've kind of made these decisions. But I have to say quickly, this team is not fully locked in. This is close to what it's going to be looking like in Game Week 1, but things change, as I'll be talking about with players like Kounde and stuff like that, because you never know what can happen, especially now where someone can randomly be ruled out of a game because they were near someone with COVID or they had COVID themselves. And also this packed schedule, so someone can get injured or on international duty or something like that. And and I have changed a lot over the last week or so. But here, I'll just go straight into it. In terms of the goalkeepers right now, I have got Kounde and Adrian. And I believe in my last video in the draft, I had a £4 million keeper. But Kounde, I'm not really expecting anything. He's, for Zenit standards anyway, it's a pretty decent group anyway. They've got Lazio and Dortmund to fight with, and Bruges. But yeah, you'd be expecting Zenit to be fighting for second place with Lazio, but you never know. To be fair, Lazio were very good last season, and we'll see how they do in this campaign. But Kounde, I wouldn't be expecting too much. They only kept one clean sheet in the last Champions League campaign, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's something similar this season. And then with Adrian, the thinking behind this is you're having a goalkeeper for so cheap from a top team. But if we are being honest, Liverpool at the moment aren't keeping clean sheets. They're not looking secure defensively, and part of that is because they have Adrian instead of Alisson. But yeah, I wouldn't be expecting too much here either. When he actually played, he never even kept a clean sheet, and we all remember the Atletico game where Adrian was very suspect and was one of the main reasons they lost that game. So this is something that I'll admit I may change, and I actually did have Mendy in my last video as well, so a 5 million goalkeeper and a 4 million keeper, and Mendy should be fine for the Champions League game, but there is a possibility he misses out the weekend game against Southampton, and Frank Lampard's going to be doing a press conference any minute now, so I'll keep you updated on that in the comment section where I'll post an update. And and also another thing, if you lot they want to directly talk to me about any teams or players or anything that you want to talk about, just message me on Twitter or Instagram. The links will be in the description below and towards the end of the video. But yeah, Adrian, I have to be honest, not very keen on him, even though he's playing for Liverpool. And you look at the teams in their group, Ajax and Atalanta are more than capable of scoring plenty of goals. Midtjylland, maybe there can be a clean sheet there, but Atalanta and Ajax, especially Atalanta this season, I would not expect Liverpool to keep a clean sheet even at home, but we'll see. And in terms of the defence, I've actually got Hakimi now, and I'll be honest, I actually had Marquinhos, but I think he's ruled out of the game against Manchester United, and even then they have a quite tough group. But not to say that Inter have an easy group. They do have Real Madrid, they have Shakhtar Donetsk, who can be a handful, and Borussia Mönchengladbach. So yeah, the main reason why I've got Hakimi at the moment is because of the goal scoring and assist potential. 4 goals last season, and Dortmund did get knocked out in the round of 16, I believe. So yeah, Hakimi can definitely do something for Inter. He plays so advanced. Inter play 3 at the back, and Hakimi's playing as a right mid, but he bombs forward, and he's such a good player. And in terms of the defense, he's going to be one of those with the most goal scoring threat and assisting potential. So that's someone to look out for. But I have to be honest, it's just hard to include everyone you want, and there are other options, of course, apart from those that I have. And there's Joshua Kimmich, which of course I would like to have, but it's impossible. Sergio Ramos, who's on penalties for Real Madrid, and then you have the likes of the Atalanta players like Hateboa and Gosens. But it's just so hard to include everyone. And one of those players I just mentioned, along with others who are on the horizon, I may include them overall, but at the moment I've got 0 million. So to get someone like Ramos, I'd have to get rid of Hakimi and then maybe downgrade one of the 4.5 million keepers to a 4 million keeper. Or if not, maybe downgrade Haaland or downgrade one of the midfielders like Di Maria or Fati. So it's not an easy thing to fit everyone you want in your team. But yeah, there's so many options in defence this season, and you've got to pick the right ones. And remember, the balls recovered stat is also something you should be looking at. So if you look at from last season, who's actually recovered the most, someone like Davis has actually recovered quite a lot. But to be fair, he went all the way to the final and played most games. But it can get you so many points, and it's another dimension to the game, which in FPL and Sky Fantasy Football and stuff like that, it's not really in the game as much. But yeah, there's a lot of options here. Thomas Munir is in my team, but he was in my first like I put him in, and then for my first draft, like the official one that I set, I put him in. But yeah, this guy, he's playing for Dortmund, and for PSG, look, he kept 3 clean sheets last season, but the main thing with him is the attacking potential. And Dortmund, if you look at how many clean sheets they kept last season, they kept 2 in the Champions League, and they went to the round of 16, which is not very encouraging. So Thomas Munir, I'll admit, he's another one who could see changes. There's a few players, like I said, who are just set in my team, but there are these variables, such as Thomas Munir, maybe even Hakimi and Adrian, who they might make way. I just have to say that. I have to be honest. Now with Kounde, he is not going to play against Chelsea. The reason why is because he got tested positive for COVID-19. So hopefully he gets well soon. I believe he will get well soon. It's not a problem. But he's £4 million, and that is such a good price for a player of his quality and in a Sevilla defence that should be going through to the next round and maybe keeping clean sheets against the likes of Stade Rennes and Krasnodar. So to be honest, with Kounde, yeah, I could transfer him out for the Salzburg £4 million defender. But what I think I might do is just wait it out. He'll be back for the second game against Rennes, which is at home, and Kounde straight into my team at £4 million. So I'm not too concerned. If he doesn't play, I'm pretty sure he's not going to play because he got tested positive, and there's that 2-week gap that he has to fulfill. Yeah, he's just gonna be in my team, in my squad. So he's kind of fixed there because of his price. He's such good value for that price. I believe he will be anyway. So yeah, he's in my team regardless of him being ruled out of the first week. So just bear that in mind for any of you who look at my team and think, well, why are you keeping him? Well, that's just my logic behind it. But you don't have to keep him. You can go with someone else if you really want all the numbers and the highest possible chance of getting so many points in game week 1. In terms of the rest of the defence, Alfonso Davis is still here, and the main reason is he's in a Bayern defence. Bayern should go far in the tournament again. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win it, and they do keep a few clean sheets along the way. Not too many, but 5 clean sheets there from a possible, I think possible 10 or 11, because they didn't do the second leg last season for quarterfinals and semi-finals. But yeah, he's got the assist potential. He's actually playing further forward now, which is something I didn't mention in my last video. But because they've got injuries at the back, they're actually playing Davis further forward. And I think, who is it? Sane. He's the one who's injured. So Davis is filling in his position. And then Lucas Hernandez is playing left back. So that's something that's very good because he just means he's further forward. And when you have someone playing out of position, but in a positive way, so someone who's marked as a defender, but he's playing in midfield or up front. So, for example, Lundstrom in FPL last season. It's just, could be very good value for money. Joshua Kimmich is that $500,000 more, and he's been scoring a lot of goals for Bayern this season, and he's playing in midfield. But yeah, I think that extra $500,000 does wonders for the rest of your team. And at the moment, I've got Alfonso Davis in there. And like I said, the ball's recovered stat, he's actually very good with that too. And his pace allows him not only to get the assists and goals, but also recover the ball a lot. So yeah, he's in my team at the moment. Felipe, he's actually been starting for Atletico Madrid this season. I did check. I've done research on all these teams since the first draft video, or should I say more research. And Felipe's been starting every game. And he's got the goal-scoring threat from set pieces. And yeah, he's 4.5 million in an Atletico defense. That is just ridiculous. Like, even if Atletico, let's say, finish third in the group, which I doubt it, but let's say they do, they can still keep clean sheets against Salzburg or Lokomotiv. Against Bayern, fair enough, I wouldn't expect any clean sheets. At home, you never know, but in Germany, that would be just insane if they did that. But Yeah, Felipe, it's a no-brainer really, if I'm being honest. The other option, in my opinion, the main option is Lodi, who I had last season, and he was 4 million. And just stuff like that, these little bargain picks that you look at, it's just too good to turn down, and you have to get them into your team. So Felipe is in there. So most of my defense is kind of settled. Alfonso Davis, Felipe, and Kounde, I believe they're settled. But as for Munir and Hakimi, they could turn into one of the Atalanta defenders. They could turn into Ramos. There's a lot of options really that you can go with. In terms of the midfield, I've still got Barrios, and I have got Dani Olmo in there. I've already really explained with Wilmar Barrios, very good for balls recovered. And look, that's just in the group stages alone. So that's very impressive. And just be wary of him, his discipline in terms of yellow cards and red cards. But he's very good as a fifth option. That's why he's selected by so many people. Dani Olmo, he's actually been playing most games this season, but he was a bit of a trap in my case last season, because he was actually playing in the Bundesliga in the games prior to the Champions League, I think against Tottenham in the round of 16. But I brought him in, and I was confident in him at least playing, and he didn't even start because Leipzig had so many options in his position last year with Forsberg, with Sabitzer, with Dani Olmo himself. So it was hard for him to get into the team. I think there's only 2 spots with the formation they play. So yeah, he was a bit of a disappointment for me last season, but at the moment I've got him in my team, and I do believe he should be playing some games. And I do believe after that stage, so after I got him out, I believe he did score in the Champions League. But yeah, Dani Olmo is a quality player, and 6 million if he starts, very, very good price, and not selected by too many, so a bit of a differential, but don't think too much about percentages and differentials as of now anyway. And Ansu Fati is in my team. To be honest, one of him or Coutinho is fine. I don't want to overload on Barcelona because I'm not confident in them as a team. Even Messi, who, you know how good he is. Like, there's no need to talk about how good he is. But I don't even want to get Messi because Barcelona overall just look shaky. And even Messi, in terms of goal scoring and assisting, isn't doing as well as he normally does. He's only got 1 goal this season, and it was a penalty for Argentina. He didn't actually score for Barcelona yet. And most of the goals are being scored by Fati and Coutinho. They're the 2 main guys there. So if I don't get Fati, maybe Coutinho could be the other alternative. But 8 million for Player of the Month in La Liga and someone who's just started the season on fire, yeah, it could be very good. A lot of people are on him, and they've got some very good fixtures here with Dynamo Kiev and Ferencvaros. Or, yeah, well, I probably butchered that name, but whatever. But Fati, yeah, should be a very good option. And he starts the actual Champions League campaign with a very good fixture at home. So, yeah, it could be very good. In terms of PSG, you want to have a bit of coverage there. I did have Marquinhos, like I said, but because of COVID, not there anymore. But I got Di Maria nearly a week ago now, after the first draft video. And really, in my opinion, in terms of midfielders and strikers, you want to have one of either Neymar, Mbappe, or Di Maria. They're the 3 best players at PSG. And Di Maria is, in my opinion, the most underrated at the club. He is so good. Look how many assists he got last season, 6. And one of them was one of the best assists I've seen in a few years when he did that through ball to Mbappe. He is such a quality player, very underappreciated, and can play multiple positions in centre mid or right wing, left wing, even as attacking midfielder. Very good player. And 9 million is still a bargain in my opinion. If you look at some of the prices for players like Lautaro Martinez, 10.5 million. He's a great player, but he doesn't score that many goals. So you look at someone like Di Maria at 9 million playing in a better team. It's a no-brainer really. But Di Maria, yeah, I wanted some PSG cover. He's got Man United at home first, and they do look shaky at the moment, although I don't expect it to continue. So yeah, Di Maria, I think, very good option. Not much more needs to be said. I think he could even be a good captain option from time to time. But yeah, he's just one of those midfielders that are set and forget. And I had him for a long period last season, pretty much for most of the season, and he continuously did well for me whenever he started. And in terms of the, I've still got Sterling, can't forget Sterling, and I actually had Gnabry before, and that changed to Salah, and now that changed to Sterling. Now the reason why is the price, 10.5 million for Sterling, who was one of the top Champions League scorers last season. In the group stages, I believe he was pretty much top 2 or 3. Up there with Lewandowski and Haaland. And yeah, he's even got the assists in him. He can win penalties, which gives you 2 points for each penalty earned. And he even does recover some balls. No homo. So yeah, Raheem Sterling, 10.5 million. When you look at Salah, 11.5 million. That's a very good price for Salah. He's a very good player, and he's been on form. But Sterling, he's going to be one of the main outlets in the City attack at 10.5 million. And look at their group. Like, I'm not going to say it's a bad group because it's not. But for City standards, it's quite easy. Let's be honest. So maybe I'm just being too nice to City there, but yeah, you can expect them to score in all of these games. Porto, Marseille, and Olympiacos. They're all similar level, those three. But then you have City, who are just even better. Even though this season they have struggled a bit. But Sterling, 10.5 million, that is something that I think I can't look down. And he's actually owned, and this is not part of my decision making, by the way, but 6% owned him. So, yeah, that's, I don't know, there's just a lot of things going for Sterling. And he was very good last season. Look how many points he earned. Just, wow. And he plays most minutes under Pep. He's one of those fixed players in his team. And especially with the departure of Sane, Sterling's pretty much got that place locked in most of the time. And now for the attack. Lewandowski and Haaland, it hasn't changed. You look at the £12 million price bracket, if I can speak. You've got him, Messi and Ronaldo. And let's be honest, who plays in the best team? Lewandowski. Who's been in the best form? Lewandowski. In Champions League, who's been scoring the most goals? Lewandowski. So in my opinion, it's a bit of a no-brainer. Even though Messi and Ronaldo have a good group, and they do play each other, but apart from that, they've got some very easy fixtures for them to score in. But Juventus, they're not too free-flowing, to be honest. So sometimes Ronaldo's a bit nullified. He doesn't get too much service, and he needs more. And then with Messi and Barcelona, it's kind of similar, but just very poor overall from Barca from time to time. But I don't know. I do expect Barcelona and Juventus to improve. Don't get me wrong. And Messi and Ronaldo, I'm not saying do not buy them, but from my point of view, at £12 million, if you can only pick one of them, it has to be Lewandowski right now. If it was, Messi in a good Barcelona team, Ronaldo in a good Juventus team, that's comparable to Bayern, and Messi and Ronaldo are just doing what they can do, then of course I'd pick one of them. But as of now, it has to be Lewandowski. That's simply the reasoning behind it. But then you'd say, well, why not save an extra million and put Haaland to Messi or Ronaldo? Well, to be honest, if you look at how Haaland has been this season and last season, just in terms of goal scoring, you're more confident in him scoring than Ronaldo or Messi. I know that sounds crazy, and I'm not saying he's a better player by any means, not even now, but I don't know. I back Haaland to have another good Champions League campaign, and with Dortmund, if they score 8 times out of 10, Haaland's involved somehow. 8 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure. And just how he's played for Norway, he's got a hat-trick the other day, how he has played for Salzburg when he first burst onto the scene, and for Dortmund, yeah, just 11 million. And just like I said, he used to be 4.5 million. It's incredible how much he has gone up by. But yeah, he was one of the best players in the Champions League last season. He was still the second or third top scorer, and he got knocked out very early. So imagine if he went all the way, it would have been crazy. But yeah, Dortmund, very good going forward. And that's what I do like about Dortmund. Defensively, however, not too sure, which is why I might go away from Munir, for example. But in terms of the attack, I do expect them to supply Haaland, the likes of Sancho, Reina, all these people who could be options in your UCL fantasy teams as well. But Haaland is the standout for sure, and yeah, someone to look out for sure. He's not locked in, not as locked in as Lewandowski, but I'm just saying, Haaland at 11 million is still good value, especially compared to others around that price bracket. And then this guy, if I'm being honest, he's just mainly a budget enabler. There's not much more that needs to be said. He is on penalties, and he is the main source of goals for Dynamo Kiev, or at least one of them. But I wouldn't expect too much from this guy. He's literally bench fodder, if we're being honest. And yeah, it enables me to have a good midfield, good defense, and good attack. But like I said, this team is subject to change. This is a Game Week 1 preview. I have mentioned other players that aren't in my team who could be of good use to you and to me even, and I may make some changes. Things change so quickly. Look at Kounde. I think it was yesterday or the day before, he is diagnosed with COVID, and now he misses the next game, just like that. So yeah, you can't just make a team on a Friday or a Thursday or a Wednesday and then just keep everything the same a week after, because yeah, you may need to change your captain, the order of your bench, who's starting, and all of that. There's so many things that you need to take into account, and yeah, there may be changes all the way to the wire. I've been doing that recently, making transfers or captaincy decisions or stuff like that pretty much the day before or on the same day as the deadline. and it has been working well for me. So I think I'm going to try to continue that trend and that pattern. And yeah, so if I do make any changes, I will be commenting on this video. I'll post an update, and also in the description. And also, yeah, like I said, if you message me on Twitter or Instagram, I'll be explaining as well why. And I may post my teams and my updated teams, and also explain why there in some posts. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. And if you have any problems, suggestions, or anything like that that you want to discuss, leave them down in the comment section below. There's still some time. There's still 4 days for the Champions League, but those 4 days goes really quickly, especially with Premier League football being back and all of that jazz. FPL is back. There's so many things to think about and to discuss. And yeah, it's going to be a very eventful week from here to next week. And yeah, not many breaks. So the break that we just had is a bit of a breather, a bit of a refresher, but a long way to go. But yeah, like I said, thank you to everyone who subscribed. We've reached 1,000. Thank you to all. Like I said, I'm lost for words. And yeah, keep on liking the video. Subscribe if you are new around here. I keep posting Champions League Fantasy and FPL content every week. And yeah, it's going to be a long season, but good luck to you all. And yeah, let's see how we do in this campaign.